What's up, guys? Here's a great style of sparring, being a counter attacker, so that whatever your opponent decides to do, you can punish them for deciding that and really expose the weaknesses of their techniques. Master Heskett is a guy like that. I remember sparring him when I was a kid, and I would dance around, jump in, doing some sort of kick, and so efficient. Man, one movement, he would just punish me for doing that. And maybe I threw 300 moves and he threw 6, but those 6 really counted because they were counterattacking with the sort of perfect selection, timing, and distancing. So I want to show you a few of these. We're going to do a series on them. Today we're going to talk about sort of the most obvious one. What's the move that gets thrown more than any other in sparring? Well, it's still punch. Even though we got all these different kind of kicks we can do, if we counted up all the different kicks and we counted up all the punches, that big reverse punch is probably still thrown more than any other move. Round kick, maybe getting up there as well. The more you spar with good kickers, maybe round kick becomes the most common move. But let's talk about countering a reverse punch. All right, countering a reverse punch. I am going to be your bad guy here in my guard. And what I'm talking about is when somebody throws this move in sparring, right? Punch the body off the backhand. I want you to notice a couple things about this. Well, first of all, when I punch, a couple things happen. I open up my body to you, and I lose coverage on that side, on that punching side of the body. All right, so even I keep my other guard up, this is open, and the more I twist and the more I lean and the more I reach, the more open and off balance I become. So I think you want to look for somebody whose punches are kind of telegraphed, that means you can see them coming, and kind of big, and somebody who really wants to, lean in and reach for you in a way that you can see coming. You set them up for this nice counter attack, okay? And here's how it works. Imagine that over here on my left, that there's a guy doing that. So there's a guy here going like that, opening that up, leaning and reaching toward me, all right? The technique you want to work on is, well, I'm going to show you two, all right? I'm going to show you two depending on your style. If you are an open hip, more of a grown-up fighter who wants to do things that apply a little bit more to different kinds of fighting and not just taekwondo sparring, then you would be opened up, all right? And for an opened up person, I really like the thrust kick counter, right? The thrust kick counter is great because your arm is not as long as my leg. So even when you lean in to reach here, if I have good distancing, good timing, I can lean out of range, right? Doesn't take much. I'm in your punching range now, I'm out of range, and that leaning, if you watch me from the side, watch what happens to the weight that I have on this front leg. I'm out of range, and now this front leg is real light as a feather, and I can just super easy just bring my knee to my chest and thrust out, right? And so it's a combination of those two things. I'm in range to be punched. I lean out, so now the punch would stop about here, but my leg is longer than your arm, which means you're going to eat that. You're going to get that right in the belly. So let's have you guys practice that thrust kicking off the front leg with a little bit of a lean back and no step up. That is so important. If you start to bring your feet together for sparring kicks, you'll always telegraph, your partner will always know what's coming, and all your moves will fall about this short, and it'll be very frustrating. So do not, when you see a big punch coming, do not slide up. That is like the dumbest thing you could do because then you're certainly going to get punched, right? So don't slide up, lean, boom, and kick. Lean, boom, and kick. Let's throw a few more of those. Just kind of imagining that punch coming in. Look how much that lean can do distance-wise. All right, let's go with the other side. Guard here, lean, right thrust kick, here. 3, you could even bait somebody a little bit if you notice them doing that. You could kind of put extra weight on your front leg so that when that punch comes in, you can really float away from it and have them set up nicely to be kicked. All right. If you are super stretch, really into taekwondo sparring, if you're a kid who spars sideways, some sideways I feel like is getting a bad rap lately. We've all been pretty much emphasizing the strengths of sparring open, but sparring closed is good if you have super long legs, if you're a really good kicker, if you're super flexible. There are reasons to do it. Reasons, if you're in a taekwondo competition, there are reasons to do it. So let's practice that. So I've got my front leg ready to kick again. Same idea. Your punch comes in, I'm still leaning. I'm still being sure to not bring my feet together, and I'm going to throw that front leg side kick at you. So now it's boom, now it's here. All right, let's throw 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, without sliding up. All right, other leg, I'll show you from the side this time. Let's do it together. Lean, 1, punch comes in, lean, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're more likely to use the thrust kick, because if I'm really sideways like this, you're probably not trying to unleash that big reverse punch on me anyway, right? That's something that is more likely to be seen from an open position. Somebody's trying to throw that punch into your body. So I think of the two, that thrust kick counterattack is a little bit better. Let me show you on the side kick though. I've had that work a lot, and you could even go from open. You could go back into your side kick. See, that's not as awkward as you might think. So you can do it that way too. But one thing about that side kick is I'm going to have you do a thing that we always say not to do in basics or in a form. I'm going to have you throw a little bit of an upward swooping kind of a side kick. So if we're doing regular side kicks like in forms, I might say, when you roll your hip over, do not drop your knee. Don't drop your knee, because then your kick is going to go up, right? And usually we don't want that. It's ugly looking, and usually it's less powerful for hitting the kind of target you want to hit. The thing is, in this situation, remember that bad guy's here. Look at the angle of my torso. Somebody leaning in, throwing that big punch that they probably shouldn't be throwing, is leaning in, and that kick comes up, perpendicular to the line of your body, is a perfect kick. So I'm going to have you lean in for your side kick. Just throw kind of a low knee chamber to a medium side kick. So this kick is coming up on this sort of a line. All right, let's do that. Let's do that 5 times. All right, we lean. Just change the angle slightly on that side kick. Let's do it from open. Lean. Turn, lean. Throw that angled side kick upward. Yeah, it's not pretty. I don't like watching myself do it on the camera here, but we don't care about that because we're sparring. All right, let's do the other side. Turn, lean, throw it upward. Turn, lean, throw it upward. 3, 4, and 5. All right, nice job. Countering series, how to counter the reverse punch. And just think how many reverse punches you see and how many of them are really not that great. And then if you start looking for that and go, that's when my opponent's body is going to be open, instead of blocking when that punch comes, don't miss the opportunity, kick them.